Hello and welcome to this episode of Thrive by Additive-Free Lifestyle. We are Tracy and Jo, and we are two sisters who are very, very passionate about asking questions and seeking information for things that make us a little bit curious. Thrive is a podcast show that will help you lower your toxic load, guide you through various stages of your life, and give you permission to ask questions and seek advice on topics you may not yet understand. Today's episode is 196. We're talking around dangers of artificial sweeteners. And it's brought to you by our app because, of course, you can use our app to scan ingredients and see if there's artificial sweeteners in there. So let's get stuck in.
Yeah, this one is a big topic, but we are going to keep it to a shorter episode because, like Tracy said, you can use our app to determine whether these ingredients are in a product or not. And what we're going to focus on today specifically is aspartame because it is found in so many different foods and drinks. And it's probably one of the more popular ones, although there's a few popular ones around as well. This one's a danger. It's like, I don't even know how this ingredient is legal in products. I just don't understand.
And okay, so let's just go backwards then. So when we were children, or actually, let's go back to our grandparents. Artificial sweeteners was, well, not artificial. Like we used sugar and maple syrup and honey to sweeten things. And then over somewhere in the, I'm going to say around the 80s to 90s, this low calorie thing came in and it was very heavily marketed. Huge marketing corporate like companies and millions of dollars would have been spent to convince us all that low calorie was the right thing. So to make things taste okay, they started, experimenting with our food because that's really what they did. They experimented with our food and added all these artificial sweeteners into our food. And they're awful. I can't even express how awful they are for our bodies, our digestive system, our health, long-term health. They're disgusting.
Yep, we'll get into that. Okay, so there's a few, as I said, there's a few on the market. Aspartame. Now, this is also known as Equal and NutraSweet. There is, I don't know how to pronounce this one, aspartame, aspartame. Is that how you would pronounce it?
Asulfame. ACESULFAME space capital K.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
We'll put it in our show notes.
There's sucralose. This is another really, really popular one, and it's also known as Splenda, Neotame, Advantage, Stevia. Now, stevia is a little bit of a hot topic because there is a natural stevia and then there's a processed stevia. And then there's sugar alcohols. So some of the popular sugar alcohols are, and I've actually used all of these in cooking, xylitol, erythritol, which is monk fruit. And that one is been doing the rounds. It's very, very popular the last few years. And I have also used it as well. But as I learn more, I'm not actually using it anymore because I feel like it's very processed. I feel like it's probably an ingredient my body doesn't need to process as well. And I feel like I should really go back to our grassroots, like you said, of using those more natural sweeteners like honey and raw honey. Raw honey is better. Like you want to be getting non-processed honey. You also want to be knowing how the farmers treat the bees and how that honey is processed. So if you can get raw honey from your local area, farmers markets, sometimes butchers sell raw honey up on their countertop. Where else do you get natural raw honey from? Marketplace, people's backyards. So definitely look in your local area for raw honey.
Yep. The thing with a little side topic on that, a little side topic on honey is if you have allergies, like hay fever and different, especially in spring, then honey can be raw honey from your local area can be a really great way to lower that histamine in your body because you're getting those natural flowers in your honey, if that makes sense. So just a little fun fact there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Totally off topic.
No, it's good. It's such a nice thing to learn. And there's so many, like growing up, I never actually normally liked honey, but I wouldn't say like I love it, but I love it. Like it's such a nice different taste. I don't know, it's different. Anyway, off topic, we're talking about our
Yep.
artificial sweeteners.
Honey,
Another
loads
one.
of honey, loads
I
of
don't
butter
even
on a
use that
crumpet.
much. I don't even use that much honey. I don't know how we got on this topic. Um, and what's another one? 100% pure maple syrup. And another one
Yep.
is dates. And another natural sweetener that I'm thinking about. I said 100% pure maple syrup, dates.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Like
Organic
sugar.
raw sugar, Rapadura sugar, and
Rapadura.
coconut sugar. They're the ones
Yeah.
I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, getting back to aspartame. This is found in, and all of these artificial sweeteners you can find in those foods marketed as low calorie, Diet Coke, Pepsi Max, zero Gatorade. So anything marketed as zero, low calorie. It's found in loads and loads of drinks, but also cakes, icing.
Jelly.
Yep. Jelly, fruit juices.
Mm-hmm.
Where else would it be found? Cafes in the sachets.
Yeah, I've seen it in yogurt.
Yes. Definitely found it in yogurt.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reactions, they may not happen immediately, although asthmatics should avoid it, but it's the really long-term major side effects that we are really worried about.
Yeah.
So it can be linked to leukemia, and we've said it a few times on the podcast. Our mum had leukemia in 2019, and it was absolutely horrific. And our mum was a huge Diet Coke drinker back in her day.
Yep.
There's also been reports of this ingredient linking to urinary tract tumors and also really very bad degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and multiple sclerosis.
If we go back to mum for a sec, not only did she drink gallons, and I kid you not, people listening, gallons upon gallons upon gallons of Diet Coke, like it so much. I don't even think anyone would even believe us if we said, like, it was ridiculous. But she bought every low cal product you could have found. So like, we don't know, like we don't have any science that says that caused that, but now that we are understanding things and now that more studies are coming out saying this does cause that, or this can cause that, or this might be linked to that, it's just worth, again, getting super curious about. And that's, we just wanted to put that out there because we've got to stay curious on a lot of these things. These things weren't around when our grandparents were kids. And, the health of our society is just getting more and more damaged by this fake food or fake ingredients that are ending up in our food. Yeah, it's awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aspartame can also be toxic to the liver, kidneys, and salivary glands. And it also, and this has been around, this information has been around a lot, but it can also cause weight gain. So for an ingredient that was put into a low-calorie food, a lot of people would normally be trying to eat healthy, lose some weight, and then they're actually eating or drinking a ingredient that is known to put on weight. And the reason that it's known to put on weight is because it makes you hungrier. So then what happens is you binge eat or you eat more food or something else because you're hungrier.
But it's also tricking your mind and your body to want sweet things. So you haven't trained your body to not want sweet things or to want more natural, like honey and maple syrup. You've trained your body to still crave these sweet things, and your brain doesn't know the difference. And so your body is still craving those sweet, sugary treats. And then so when you stop eating low cal or you've gone off your diet, your body will still want to crave those sugary things. And so many people, it's a really known fact, so many people just end up putting all the weight back on and then some because their body's still craving it.
Yeah, exactly. Another study that was really interesting was in rats, and either the rat was pregnant or breastfeeding. And so no aspartame was directly given to the baby. It all came from the mother. And what it showed was that the baby's gut microbiota was damaged. So like we're damaging the baby's gut health through breast milk and pregnancy. It's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind-blowing. So it affects the gut bacteria, and then, of course, then it affects your gut health. So how do we avoid it? You just don't consume it, like full stop.
Go back to natural.
It's actually not complicated. You just stop drinking it.
And it
Full
is
stop.
hard. I get it, right? It's hard.
I get it
because,
too.
again, there's that huge marketing that we've been trained. We've been trained through subliminal marketing, through direct marketing of advertising companies, and it's just was everywhere when we were growing up. So I get it. It's hard to untrain yourself from this marketing that we've had. But your health actually requires you to do this. The health of your family requires you to do this. And if you are addicted to it and you still like those sweet treats, then have a play with some of these other beautiful foods that you are available to you. Like, I was having a conversation with someone the other day in a cafe, Joe, and this exact topic came up. Like, when people start to live additive-free, and she was talking around gluten, but it all made exactly, that was all the same, but different. People automatically go, oh, I'm going to miss out. What am I giving up? I've got to give up something, rather than say, how exciting, I get to try all these new different foods. So think of it in that way. Yes, you might need to give up your Diet Coke, but think of the things that you could drink instead, and not get hung up on what you are giving up in abbreviated brackets, because your world will open up to all these other amazing whole foods and amazing products. And when you start making changes like that, your body will just thrive. It will. Yes, you're killing yourself drinking this stuff.
Yeah. And I get it more. I probably get it more than you, Trace, because I love Diet Coke. I was definitely having a Diet Coke every single day. You've never really drank those fizzy drinks, and it's addictive because of the caffeine. And so it's really hard to give up because your body is literally craving it.
Yeah.
And so then, then sometimes what we do is we drink more coffee or we drink more something else, and like, you're not actually solving the problem. So just be really careful of that. Now, something that I did, I weaned myself off it, and it wasn't like I was having a 1.25 liter bottle of Diet Coke a day. Like, I was having probably a can a day, which isn't a lot compared to some people. But it was still really hard to give up. Now, not only probably was I having that one can of Diet Coke, but I quite often called into the servo on the way to work and picked up a Red Bull or V. Zero diet, of course, right? I didn't want the calories. But so there was a lot going on. So something that I did was I just forced myself to have more water. That was a huge thing and a huge process that I had to do. And I also switched to kombucha. Now, there's a lot of kombuchas on the market now. Some are definitely better than others. And if you can make your own, it's literally as hard as making a black cup of tea. Like, it is so simple, it's ridiculous. And so I swapped to my 1 glass of kombucha a day, and I just made these simple swaps over time, and I wasn't hard on myself if I still caved into a Diet Coke here and there. It did take time to wean myself off it, and now I could never, ever go back to it, So give yourself a bit of grace, give yourself time, but just make the effort to wean yourself off the aspartame. And then another issue that we have with a lot of our followers, Trace, is they go, yeah, but how do I get the husband or the whoever in my family to stop drinking it? Well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And, what you could do is get the family package of our app and put it on their phone and get them to start scanning. Some people are more open than others. But I find, and I don't know about you, Trace, but I find the more you try and push someone to do something, the more they don't do it. Yeah. And so my suggestion would be is, who does the shopping and only buy what you want to buy? And if they go out and they buy it, well, at the end of the day, they're adults and that's on them. But you can only give them the information and hopefully they will listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard, and it's hard with kids as well. We get it. So like Joe said, just do the best you can on any given day. And that's really all any of us can do. And now that you've learned a little bit more about aspartame and a range of artificial sweeteners, maybe share some of this information, like Joe said, with your partner, with your kids, with your family members. Give them some options. Maybe take them some different styles of drinks, or give them some different drinks. You know, if we're sitting at dinner table, serve up something different or have a different option there, and see if we can encourage them to make some different choices, and slowly, like Joe said, because it is a weaning off process. So good luck with it. We wish you the best, and we'll see you next week.